How's it going, guys? Welcome back. Today we're going to be talking about pistons, sticky pistons, slime blocks, and honey blocks. Right, so let's start with the piston. Now, the piston is a block that can be crafted using 3 wood, 3 planks, 1 iron, 1 redstone, and 5 cobblestone. And it looks like this. Now, its use is really simple. Let me show you. So essentially, all this thing does is it pushes blocks. So if you place it in the front here, basically the front being this wooden texture here, if you place a block in front of it and go ahead and activate the lever, as you can see, it pushes the block forward. Now, if you go ahead and activate it again, or like depower the redstone, it will retract, but it won't actually like retract the block with it. So the block will stay there. If I add another block, it will push both the blocks and then will retract. Now, there's a maximum push limit here, which is 12 blocks. So right here, I have 12 blocks aligned. As you can see, it pushes them normally. That's completely fine. But now if I have 13 blocks, as you can see, it doesn't push them anymore. That's because the push limit has been reached. It's 12. So if I remove a block from the end here, as you can see, it can go ahead and push it normally. So make sure you like push anything that is like under 12 blocks. And with that said, let's move on to the sticky piston. Now the sticky piston is exactly the same as the piston. It can be crafted using 1 piston and a slime ball, but it has one other use. So as you can see, if I go ahead and push it, it pushes the block like so. But then if I go ahead and retract it, it also retracts the block with it. So it sticks to the block. Now again, it has the 12 push limit here. So as you can see, this works. But it only retracts, of course, the first block. So the block it is like physically touching. Now if I add another block here, as you can see, it doesn't work anymore because it's 13. It has essentially the exact same push limit. The only difference is that when it pushes a block, it retracts it back. That's really it. Right, now this right here is the slime block. It can be crafted using 9 slime balls. And essentially all this thing does is it acts like a glue. So if I go ahead and like stick some blocks to the side of it like so, and I go ahead and activate it, as you can see, it goes up like so, and also the blocks around it. Because the piston is like pushing the slime block upwards, and we have the blocks stuck to it, so it acts like a glue. Similarly, it acts to glue like all the other slime blocks or slime balls, blocks. So I go ahead and retract this, as you can see, it just goes down again. Of course, if I go ahead and put the dirt blocks here, as you can see, the whole thing just goes up and down like it should. Now, the total here should come out to like 12 blocks. So right here we have 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. And then if I go ahead and add like 11 and 12, that is the maximum the piston can push, right? Since this is a total of 12 blocks. If I go ahead and put another one, it doesn't push it anymore because it's more than 12 blocks. So essentially it acts like a glue, but keep in mind the push limit. You don't want a lot of like blocks stuck to each other so that like, yeah, then it can't really push it. Now, as you saw right here, the sticky piston can just perfectly fine stick to the slime block like so. Of course, because I'm using a sticky piston. But if I go ahead and place a normal piston, as you can see, yeah, it doesn't work. So that said, let's move on to the next one. Now, this right here is the honey block. It can be crafted using 4 honey bottles, and it's essentially the exact same as the slime block. So it acts like a glue if you go ahead and stick them to each other like so. As you can see, it acts like a glue. Go ahead and, of course, replace it with a sticky piston. As you can see, it should grab it back like so. There you go. Now, an interesting thing about honey is that it's 1 pixel too short. So as you can see, I'm standing on the piston here. But in reality, there's like a honey block on top of it, like so. Now, again, everything that applies to the slime blocks applies to the honey blocks. But there is one special feature that makes them like kind of differentiate. So if I go ahead and place some slime blocks around the honey blocks, like so, and I go ahead and push it, as you can see, it doesn't stick to the slime. Why is that? Well, that's because it's a feature, actually, that slime can't stick to honey. Same if we do the exact opposite. So if we have like honey around the slime, and I go ahead and push it, it does not stick together. Of course, if we put it on top of it, it will push, but then it won't like retract with it. So you know it works like so. So slime does not stick with honey, but the other way, like the other way around. But with that said, that's really it. That's all you need to know. And one thing before I forget, as you can see here, I have this little contraption set up here with a sticky piston. As you can see, if I go ahead and like try to move it back, it won't. Why is that? Because this is an immovable block, as we talked about before, and it doesn't move. So like furnaces, chests, terracotta, anything like that, it does not move. Also keep in mind that if you have a like sticky piston here that is like extended like so, so it is powered, even if I like place this for example, it won't retract it because it's like technically not a proper block. It's an immovable block now. So keep that in mind when you're designing your redstone contraptions. And with that said, should be it.